doesn't matter. Aaron throw from the pitcher to the home plate. Gets all the way to the backstop.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hopefully we have everybody joining us tonight. I want to welcome everybody to the 2020 version of the LB Athletics Blue and Gold Athletic Celebration. I'm Mark Majeski, the athletic director, and normally we would be conducting this event on campus in a dining hall as part of our Blue and Gold banquet, but circumstances, of course, do not allow us to do that. So we are recreating and pivoting and doing this virtually like so many others have done. But we want to make sure we have a chance to acknowledge our great student athletes and our coaches and our programs for all the great work that has taken place this past year, even though it has been an extraordinary year, unlike any other that anybody has ever experienced anywhere. But we are thrilled to be able to do this at the end of the term. Before we get going, we've got a program that'll last about 35 minutes or so, but we want to I want to start off by at least acknowledging that we have some very challenging times we're living through right now. And this is not the platform or the time to make any kind of political statements, and that's not what this is about. But as I thought about our current environment, what I realized, it reminded me of the importance and the power of athletics within the broader context of our world. With the pandemic and all of the implications that came with that, which was very overwhelming, this past week has raised additional awareness and probably stirred new emotions, only adding to the complexity in our lives. Athletics has many benefits. One of them is a built-in support network made up of teams and the individuals on those teams. These groups provide a safe space for dialogue, for questions, place to process emotions for individual feelings. I encourage all of us to find support if we need it in our teammates, our coaches, our family, and our friends. Everyone processes in our own individual ways. Some people find it very easy to share their emotions, while others are challenged to share or even acknowledge or understand their own emotions, let alone those of others. And that's okay too. Whether it's during a pandemic or a widespread social outcry, or even the day-to-day grind that we all experience through work or school, athletics always finds ways to help us through challenging situations. At the very least, it allows us to escape or distracts us for an hour or two as we engage in some physical activity, or as we watch our favorite teams as fans. But at its best, athletics provides a model for the broader world, a group of individuals working together toward a common goal, people from all backgrounds and circumstances that come together to form a team that's focused on purpose and progress and outcomes. Teams are about growth, development, and improvement, not simply about winning at any cost. Our games have rules and consequences for not following those rules. Our work is about developing discipline and a strong work ethic. Our work teaches respect for those rules, for our opponents, for the game we love, and most importantly, for each other, for ourselves. We have wonderful teams at LB, and we're going to celebrate them tonight. And as a whole, LB is an extraordinary team made up of hundreds of unique individuals who each play a role in our efforts to support student success. We must always remember, no matter what the circumstance, we are all part of a larger collective team that has common purpose. And I think Phil Jackson, the 11-time NBA champion coach, said it best in this quote. I think he captures what I'm trying to get at here. Phil said, "The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team." So I think we have a real opportunity here. Let's celebrate tonight, but let's always remember moving forward the power of team. So thank you very much for indulging me. We have a great program tonight. As I mentioned, we're going to have all of our coaches speak and recognize their student athletes and programs and talk about their season. But before we get going, we are going to kick it off with our dean, Christina Holton. She is the Dean of Science, Engineering, and Math. And I'm very excited and thrilled that she was able to join us tonight. And Christina, welcome. And let's share your welcome message for everybody.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me come and participate tonight. I like all of you and like our coaches, I know I missed the opportunity to be in person and truly connect. This was a highlight of my last spring coming in as Dean of Athletics, overseeing athletics. And I look forward to when we'll have the opportunity to all be again in person. I know this is only temporary, but it is challenging times. And I want to acknowledge that how much I appreciate everyone continuing to move forward despite the challenges that we're facing. I know it's not easy. And I've heard from students and I've heard from faculty. And I know that what we're experiencing right now is not easy, but I commend each and every one of you for continuing to persevere and push forward in your educational pursuit, and know that our intentions, our goals, our strongest desires are to all be back together again in person. I want to echo what Mark was saying is that LBCC, we are here to support you. We've got a lot of great support structures in place. Some of them we're still figuring out as we go, but please know that if you need anything in this process, whether it's something related to athletics, your coaches are here for you, Mark's here for you, I'm here for you, but also on the academic side, we've got a lot of support for you. So just know that we're here. We want to see you continue to be successful. You've already been successful. That video was awesome to see all that we've accomplished so far. And I know that we have much more to accomplish and continue to do good work, excuse me, in the future. So again, thanks for joining us. I look forward to future seasons. I'm being very optimistic. I know we don't know much yet, but I'm being very optimistic that it will be sooner rather than later, where we all can be together again in person. So thanks so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Christine. I really appreciate you joining us, and thanks for the kind words, and appreciate all the support that you provide to us. All right, so far technology seems to be our friend, and hopefully this will all go as planned. If it doesn't, we're still together. We'll make it work one way or the other, but we're going to start us off with volleyball here, and each program will have a brief introductory video followed by the coach coming on camera to make their comments. So let's go to this one more time. And Jamie, you are on.
Hey everybody, thank you for taking your time to celebrate our Roadrunner teams. I'd like to start off by acknowledging the many staff and faculty around the LB campus who've assisted in creating such a positive experience for all of our student athletes. I want to take a moment to thank my assistant coaches who I believe are watching tonight, Josh Gehrig, McKenna Dahl, and Kylene Briggs. Gail Rushing and Callie Kemper for all they do behind the scenes, and Mark for stepping out in front and leading with vision. To all the HHP faculty for being so supportive, and Russell Yap, our athletic trainer, and Jake Forshee for just giving all their time to our student athletes. You know, watching those videos, it felt like years ago now. You know, it always feels like a long time from our season, you know, once we're in June, but this year it's just an extra long time. So I'm going to talk about a couple of the highlights from our season. We're a really young freshman team. We had 11 freshmen and only 4 sophomores. But even with that, we had a 13-3 season. It was very successful, and 27-12 overall. The team played some of its most competitive volleyball right there at the end of the season. And I would say, you know, Mark asked us to talk about a highlight. I would say a highlight was definitely going down to Eugene and beating Lane in 5 in a very, you know, competitive match by both teams after they had beat us in 5 in our home opener. So I would say probably most of my players felt like that was a really great highlight, and we were happy to return that favor. A strength of this team was really our academic drive. Nearly 70% of our team was above a 3.0 this year. 14 out of 15 are still enrolled or have completed a degree here at LB. 10 of the 11 freshmen are committed to returning to compete in the fall and finish their degree. 3 of the 4 sophomores graduate in the spring, and all 4 are pursuing a bachelor's or an advanced certification. This team really did not back off their degrees. They were really pursuing rigorous schedules in STEM. You know, I think 11 of them are into science, engineering, and math, and then a lot of them are prepping for advanced degrees. So just really academically driven, and I appreciate that about this group. Statistically, Mitra Aflatuni, Alexis Chapman, and Sydney Johnson earned Southern Region honorable mention, and each played an integral role statistically, as well as playing a really strong leadership role. Sydney Johnson is in the top 5 season record for assists at Linn-Benton, and she was chosen by her teammates along with Katie Carrillo as the cornerstone player of our 2019 team, exemplifying effort, resilience, leadership, and commitment to all of our team goals. Katie earned second team Southern Region and is in the Linn-Benton top 5 season record for receive rating and number of digs defensively. And that goes back to early 1990s as far as these records that I'm talking about. She is also Linn-Benton 2019 NWAC Southern Region Sportsmanship Award winner. Allie Tao earned first team Southern Region. She stood out in the NWAC for all of her all-around skill and fierce competitive spirit. She's second in LBCC history in career kills and top 5 in the season kills and hitting efficiency. Overall, as far as our team throughout the season, you know, I'm very proud of this group. They grew in their willingness to risk and compete under pressure. They began to understand the importance of mental and emotional resilience. Most importantly, I saw them make breakthroughs and a commitment to a singular goal in order to carry on a culture of excellence that we have here at Linn-Benton. As I look to the upcoming season, there's still so many questions of what it will look like. You know, I've fielded questions from parents and players. You know, we just don't know yet. It's been very difficult for everyone, you know, because we don't know how to proceed, but I'm very hopeful about, you know, getting a clear direction and that we will be able to get back to the gym in a safe and timely manner soon. Thank you in advance for everybody that's going to make the season a reality. Finally, I'm really excited about our 7 incoming freshmen who will be joining our sophomores. They're a fun group who are driven, athletic, and very eager to compete. All of them were standouts at a league and state level. And as far as our returning sophomores, I believe several will take the lead on the court, you know, statistically speaking. But more importantly, you know, they've really come around. They've been through a lot, and they're going to set high standards. And I expect them to, you know, want to achieve greatness, you know, on the court and in the classroom. It's not going to be without its challenges. We're going to have 17 on our roster. That's the biggest roster that we've had, and I just know that's going to be really positive for all of us because we're all really eager to get back to the court. And have the opportunity to, you know, to come together again. So I'm really excited for the upcoming season, and you know, hopefully we'll be getting started here in the next few weeks or so. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jamie. Well done, and congratulations to our women's volleyball program and all the student athletes. A great group of young women headed for success. One thing I did want to remind, I didn't say this at the outset, this is being recorded. It'll be available on the same webpage that you're viewing, athletics.linnbenton.edu/awards. The replay will be available immediately after we go. But now we've done women's volleyball. Let's move on and learn a little bit about our men's basketball program. And Joe, you are up. Let's hear about the men's basketball program, but I want to say that you are conspicuously absent from that Zumba video. What's going on with that?
Well, somebody had to work the camera, right? So my name's Joe Schomburg. I'm the head coach of the men's basketball team. Got a little bit of a beard going on. Haven't shaved since we were kicked out of school. So we'll see how long it goes. As soon as they let us back into to LB, I'm shaving it off and getting back to the summer look, and hopefully that'll be pretty quick here because we're itching to get back in the gym. Before we get started here, much like Jamie said, I want to just acknowledge my assistant coaches. Ron Richards was just awesome this year. Did a great job with the guys, did a great job, helping me learn Linn-Benton a lot. Also Michael Joseph, young assistant coach. He won't be back with us, but he's looking to become a high school head coach in the future. So I'm excited for his future. And Colton Blazer was a student assistant who didn't make it through the season because he had a great opportunity he couldn't pass up, and he had to jump at that. But all three of those guys were really instrumental and helped us be a better group. Also, you other coaches, Jamie, Jared, Andy, y'all were awesome, helping me learn about LB and getting me up to speed and just supporting me and supporting our guys. It was awesome. Russell, great job taking care of the guys, especially men's basketball. We're always getting dings and nicks and things. It's a long season and we had a lot of freshmen. So it took a while to, get through some of the ankles and some of the illnesses and all of the different things going on. Russell, you were great. Jake, you kept us strong and fit. Really fun working with you in the weight room, Jake. I thought you did a great job with us. And then, and last but not least, Gail, you're awesome. Without you, especially without your ribbing me because of my Kiwi heritage, it wouldn't be the same. And I miss you more than I miss anybody else being in the office and seeing you every day. And then, of course, Mark, you're awesome. And took a chance on me as a head coach, and I appreciate it. And really excited to move on and keep doing these things that we're trying to do here, building the program. Our team record wasn't what we were looking for, only 11-18, 5-11 in conference. But I think it's really important that, we all know that college basketball is about so much more than just putting the ball in the hoop. You mentioned it earlier, Mark. It's about growth. It's a big part of the educational experience for our guys that participate in basketball. And I'm really proud of some of the things that we did in terms of overcoming some of the adversity that we faced this year. One of our best players, a transfer from Oregon State, was out early on, played in very few games. He was sort of a glue guy. We were very young, only had 4 sophomores, and he was one of them. And so when we lost him, that was really, really tough. And we lost another sophomore in that same injury. And so we were down to 2 sophomores, 2 guys, and really one guy who had played a ton of minutes. And it's tough. My respect for college athletes is tremendous. The stuff that they have to do in terms of the competition and the academics and just the social lifestyle that you have to live to be successful at the college level as an athlete is just tremendous. And I can't express my respect for the athletes and for you guys that compete. It's tremendous, and I really have a high level of respect for that. I can't express that enough. One of the things that I thought was really great about our team this year was I thought that our service to the community was really awesome. We started off early on in September volunteering at St. Mary's Soup Kitchen several times a week. All of the guys participated in that. A lot of the guys had never done anything like that before, and they started doing it and really got a lot of personal enjoyment out of it. And it really, for the guys, especially the guys that are from out of town, it really connected them with the community, and they gave back, and they represented our school really, really well. We also volunteered at a lot of the local elementary schools and built a really strong relationship with North Albany Elementary School. And I'm really proud of that, and really, really proud of what the guys did with that. And they really bought into that experience. They also worked at almost all the Oregon State Beavers home games and several Ducks games and raised money for their own program, which I think is a little old fashioned, but I think it really is part of what community college athletics is about, is that we don't have the same things that the Ducks and the Beavers have in terms of resources. So we go out and earn them, because there's no excuse that, hey, maybe that's not in the budget, but that's okay. We can go earn that, and we can make that happen. So we can go out to nice meals as a team. And our guys bought into that and really worked hard at that. And I'm really, really proud of that effort. And and excited, and, moving forward that's something that's part of our program is service to the community. We can, sustain ourselves a little bit and help with those kind of things. And those are real life lessons that I'm really proud that the guys have learned, because at the end of the day, we'll forget about some of the competitions, but we'll take all of these lessons with us. And I think that's what this is really about. And so our record wasn't what we wanted it to be, and it'll be better in the future. But we did have a very successful season in a lot of ways. I want to recognize several of the guys, team captains, Kyrie Davis and Peter Wilmes. Also Kai Blazer, who was injured and lost for the season with 2 concussions, his career may be over, which is really, tragic. But Kyrie and Peter, who were with us the whole way through, they were great. Peter was a steady Eddie, just Mr. Reliable. If Peter was all about basketball, he'd be tremendous. But Peter's balancing being a college basketball player with being like taking over the family farm. And he's doing real life things, which is really impressive. And he brought that reliability to the team, which was sort of a steadying hand for a lot of young guys who hadn't, at that point early on, didn't really know what we had gotten ourselves into. And then Kyrie Davis was a great freshman, leader on the court, point guard, had the ball in his hands most of the time, ran the offense, led the defense, and represented us as captains on campus and in the community. Both those guys were awesome. Our 3 sophomores that were with us the whole year, Dakota Kuahara, Peter Wilmes, I already talked about a little bit, and Seth Cullison. The 3 of those guys are just awesome. Our team would never really had, hey, freshmen, you guys carry this or carry that on the road trip. There's no freshmen carry the bag, carry the med kit. It was always one of those sophomores just grabbing it before anybody had a chance to do it, to the point where we had to tell them to stop doing that and let some other guys participate in some of those little things. But they were always ready to help, never had to be asked, just great sophomores. Looking forward to seeing what they have, what they have in their futures. Want to mention Fred Harding. Fred actually took over study hall and helping me oversee study hall as a freshman who struggled in high school academically at Lake Oswego High School, and actually became a good student and was very committed in the classroom and has really evolved and grown as a young man. So we're really proud of him. Kadeem Nelson, another freshman, was extremely positive in the weight room. He was just a great energy guy. He went with the baseball team a couple of times to see what their workouts were like, because he said, hey, this is a championship program. I want to see how you guys do it. And he went to their workouts and became close with some of the baseball players and baseball coaches. And so that was really good. Him going and doing that and bringing back to our program what baseball has been so good at. Also want to mention Brooks Browning and Grant Carley, 2 baseball players who, when we had some injuries and things were getting tough and we were low on numbers and needed some extra guys to help us get through practices and some competitions, Brooks and Grant were just studs, just awesome guys. Grant actually started a couple games and was a regular player in our rotation down the stretch. And so Coach Andy, really appreciate you lending us those guys. And if you guys are listening, big thank you. We couldn't have got through the season without the energy you guys brought. You guys brought championship level energy and championship level commitment to our program. So that was great stuff for us. All conference, we had Kyrie Davis was 2nd team all conference. He was actually runner-up freshman of the year to a young man from Clackamas, and he was runner-up defensive player of the year in the region to the best player in the NWAC, a kid who was the MVP of the NWAC and also the defensive player of the year. In fact, when we played Clackamas the 2nd time, Kyrie actually outplayed their lead guard in terms of dominating the flow of the game and really leading us in growing as a young man and as a basketball player and as a competitor. And I'm really, really proud of the work that he did. And he was a tremendous player and deserved those recognitions. All freshman team, all defensive team, like I said, runner-up defensive player of the year and runner-up freshman of the year. And he has a bright future ahead of him. Seth Cullison and Peter Wilmes were both NWAC Academic Excellence Awards winners, which is great. Really committed in the classroom, did an awesome job with that. I also want to talk briefly about Kadeem Nelson. Kadeem Nelson, although he wasn't recognized by the NWAC, he was also he scored 31 points in our last game of the season, and I really expect big things from him going forward. He base our offense on him coming off of screens, and defenders would have to chase him all over the gym, and it was awesome to see. And he learned how to be really a college off guard, which is a big step from a small school player to a college player, and having the offense revolve around getting him touches and then playing off of his cutting movement, which was really good. We're really excited about next year. Excited what Kadeem's going to bring back. We have big Fred Harding, who's going to be really good down low, tough, athletic, really mobile. We have 2 red shirts that are coming back, Logan Pruitt and Tyson Parker, both who I have big plans for. Logan probably could have played this year, but he really believed that for his development, redshirting would be good. And I agree with him, and I'm really thinking he could be really good this next year. And then Tyson Parker, kid from Central Catholic, who's a dual enrollment kid with Oregon State. He'll be back. So we're looking forward to having those 2 guys. We've got 3 commitments so far. One is a small school 2-time player of the year in the state, who will be dual enrolled in engineering at Oregon State and playing with us. And another is one of the top scorers in the Portland Metro League, the Portland Interscholastic League. So we're really looking forward to having them. We didn't shoot the ball very well from the outside, and both of those guys can really shoot it. We've also got a kid coming in who's committed from Philomath, who will be a good player as well. Looking forward to having him, and really looking forward to getting in the gym. We've got a lot of leads on great recruits and are talking to some great recruits, but in men's basketball, typically this happens pretty late. Guys are still holding out for 4-year offers and things like that. So we're looking forward to getting back in the gym and getting those guys in front of us and playing and seeing who's going to be good fits for us. I want to just sort of close with sort of a message for the future. You know, I talked about adversity a little bit, and I really believe that adversity makes us stronger. And this 2020 year has been full of adversity, and we can either be run away from it and be sort of woe is me and have that kind of play the woe is me Olympics. Oh, this is all really bad. You know, what's going on out here? Or we can look at it and go, all right, how can I improve myself? Or what can we be better? How can we grow from this? And I think if we embrace it like that, all this adversity, first from the COVID and then from the recent things going on in society, this is a great opportunity for all of us to grow as humans and become stronger and better people. And also there's pain and growth sometimes. And if we embrace that pain and fight through it and help each other get through it, we'll come out the other side of this a better society for it. So I encourage everybody to just embrace the adversity. It's kind of out of our control what we can. Let's keep being good people, taking care of each other. Hopefully we'll be back on campus soon, getting after it in the classroom and getting after it on the court. So I'm really excited for next year. Thanks, Mark.
All right, great. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate the wonderful message, and congratulations to our men's basketball student athletes and the whole program. Let's keep moving now. We will take a look at our women's basketball program next. Okay, Coach Gibson, Jared, you're up. Welcome.
Thanks, Mark. You can hear me okay? I'm still trying to learn all this Zoom technology. So first off, just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight as we cover our athletics. Seasons here, and Mark, really appreciate your opening remarks. those to start things off. So there's a lot of people that go into making Linn-Benton athletics a success, and I'm probably leaving people off here. But Gail and Callie, Jake, Russell, Mark, obviously, Christina. Christina is a huge advocate for us, and really appreciate you being here tonight, and just all the coaches. I think that's one of the things that I enjoy most about LB is that we're all working together and all have the same goals in mind, and so that's something that's really special to me, and makes it enjoyable coming to work every day. And also want to take just a couple of minutes and thank my assistants, which are the brains behind our operation. Both Robin, Andrea, and Leslie Reinecker do so much for our program, not just on the floor, but behind the scenes. Leslie's been really instrumental this spring in terms of lining our group up with some guest speakers, and really value her experience and her knowledge, and Robin does lifts a lot of a lot of what our program is about. He does a lot of recruiting for us, and he was in charge of our defense this year. And so just want to make sure that I acknowledge them, and also Rebecca Brown and Chelsea Scott, who were a part of our program this year, that did a lot of work behind the scenes in terms of our social media and promoting, and just things that don't really get recognized. So anyway, moving on, I just want to take a little bit of time and recognize our three sophomores. All three will be receiving their associate's degree here this spring. First, Molly Hendricks, who's going to slide over to Oregon State as she's pursuing an engineering degree. Emily Hewson is moving on to Western Oregon to pursue her degree in nursing. And Amir Lowe, which you saw the graphic earlier, is actually signing on Saturday with Ottawa University in Kansas, and so she'll have an opportunity to continue to play while pursuing a degree in engineering as well. So those were our three sophomores. Our just kind of a recap of our season. I thought that we took a positive step forward. This is just my second, just finished my second year. We were, from a win-loss perspective, we were +8 in the win column this year versus last year. We finished 20-9, the first time that the women's basketball program at Linn-Benton has won 20 games since 2006 and 2007 season. And some notable things that I'm proud of, because I tend to be a defensive guy, and a lot of this goes to Coach Andrea, because he was in charge of our defense. But we finished third in the NWAC in opponents' field goal percentage, second in points allowed per game, first in opponent 3-point field goal percentage, and we led the NWAC in blocks with almost 5 a game. So those are just some statistical categories that obviously we feel good about. Some of our individual awards, Amir Lowe and Elizabeth Chavez were named to the South Region honorable mention team. Allison Killian was named to the South Region all defensive team and led the entire NWAC in blocks with 91 on the season. And we had 4 freshmen that were named to the South Region all freshman team: Allison Killian, Elizabeth Chavez, Megan Wagner, and Mari Martinez. So a lot of contributions from our freshmen, which we needed as we only had 3 sophomores. and really excited about next year. We've currently have 9 young ladies coming in that have committed to our program for next year. 3 of them are first team All-State kids that were also players of the year in their respective conferences, and along with a number of first and second team all-league players from their conferences. So really excited to get back as soon as we can, and I'm tired of meeting over Zoom. I can't wait to see our kids in person and actually get on the floor and work with our kids. So really proud of the steps that we took this year, and looking forward to building on that. And so thank you for the time, and enjoy the rest of the show here.
Great. Thank you, Jared. Well done. And congratulations to the women's basketball team and all the student athletes for year 2 of a program. You made remarkable strides, and it was a lot of fun to see. Let us transition and move on to baseball. Okay, and Coach Peterson, you are up. Welcome.
Thanks, Mark, for having us on, and thank you, Roadrunner friends and family. This is obviously an interesting time for baseball. It was a weird season. It's not at all what we could have ever expected. Nothing we could have ever planned for. I think for all of us, it left a little bit of an empty feeling inside. Everyone's trying to fill that feeling with some fall ball next year, hopefully. At least that's what we're planning. Very, very glad to see our communities doing well in this fight against the coronavirus thing. Albany, Linn-Benton counties, at least a lot of people that I'm close to, glad to hear everyone's doing well. I hope the rest of the country can follow suit. But for our season, right when it ended, I told our guys jokingly that I guarantee every coach in baseball is telling their team that this was our year. I genuinely do think that this was our year. I know that's something that, we all can just say, but what an unbelievable group of guys we had. It was as special as could possibly be. I think it opened all of our eyes to what can be taken from us and how fast that can, be taken. And everyone always says, treat it like your last pitch, like your last game, your last play, all of that. I think the special thing in all of this for our program was I think the guys had that even before the whole virus thing started. I think it was a collective group that wouldn't allow each other to take a play off or take a day off or have a bad day or anything like that. And I just cannot thank them enough, for the way they pursued our entire year. Since I've been coaching, I've always wanted to put together a group of leaders. And I know we were asked for this to, name our captains and all of that. I will never name captains. I don't think it should be limited to 2, 3, 4 guys. Can honestly say, I think we had a group of, 15, 20, 25 guys that are on their way to becoming genuine leaders, which makes my job incredibly easier. They police themselves. there were so many times throughout the year I'd get ready to say something, yell at a guy, and I see one of the sophomores telling him before I even have the chance. You know, that piece of it is special, and they would all agree in every manner that is just an unbelievable group to be with. You know, they loved each other. I think that was the best part. That's something some of the best teams I've ever been a part of have been a family type of atmosphere, and I really do think that they cared for each other. They looked out for each other. It's, you know, it's a bunch of brothers. It's 35 brothers that, you know, they'll bicker throughout the day and all that, but when it comes down to it, they made each other better. And that's a sign of true leadership, is guys that make everyone better around them. There's a thing of all of our players and coaches being excited to come to practice. I don't think there was a day that it was, we got practice. I think everyone was excited to get out there. And I noticed throughout the year, I had to keep showing up 5 minutes earlier every day, because guys would want to show up earlier and earlier and earlier. And, you know, it got to a point that there's, you know, without me even coaching, there's 20 guys out there before I even get out there from the office. And that's that's just a special thing as a coach, to see a group of young men do that. You know, every aspect of what our guys did was incredible. The weight room, you know, we have weights at 6 a.m. Guys weren't late. They got after it. If somebody was tired, before, like I said, before I had a chance to say anything, they were jumping on each other. It was, that idea of them holding each other accountable made my job and my assistants, you know, that much easier. On top of that, I got to thank my assistants, Braden Wells, Mike Takamori, Ryan Gorton. A team is only as good as, you know, the coaches they have around him. And I think as far as a junior college program, I don't think it gets any better. I think all of our players would agree. I know a lot of them don't know any better. But it's, you know, seeing the way they handle the guys, the way they push the guys, the relationships they build with the guys, it's, you know, I can't thank them enough. You know, another one of those things that makes my life incredibly easy. So thank you guys. The classroom this year, just absolutely incredible. I think we carried over a 3.3 team GPA both terms. You know, for a junior college baseball program, it's special. It says a lot about the group of guys. You know, the guys we try to recruit are guys that are high academic kids. And I think it goes hand in hand with guys that get it done in the classroom, get it done on the field. You know, it's a character thing that I think is just matched up perfect, which makes sense why I thought our team was so special this year. You know, study hall, same thing. I didn't have to police them. I'd send them off to study hall. They'd police each other. It was something I didn't have to worry about, which, you know, it's unbelievable to think about. You know, we talked about having all the different leaders on the team. I can't even name, you know, each individual guy, but Trey, Hank, Ian, JJ, Ruben, Kenji, all you guys. Some of you lead by example, some lead by, you know, just, you know, the big voice and the believing in what you say and all that. And I just, you know, can't thank you guys enough. We had Miliana Allerson was our sportsmanship award winner. You know, I think everybody on the team would agree that that's an obvious choice. The kid's a 4.0 student every term. He speaks 2 languages. He's first one on the field, last one off. And, you know, like I said, one of my old coaches, he talked about what a true leader is, and a true leader is somebody that makes people great around them. And I think Millie does that. And, you know, I think that's as obvious of an award as could be given out. So Millie, keep it up. Excited for you for next year. As far as guys moving on, great list of guys that are heading out. You know, and I guess before I list their names, the one thing that I can say about all of them is the character that they do have is exemplary. It's amazing, these group of guys, and seeing them from their first year come in to how they are when they're leaving. Some of these programs are getting some unbelievable young men that are, you know, that are going to be very, very successful in life. It's just very obvious to see. But Brock Townsend has been arguably the best pitcher in the NWAC the last 2 years. He's headed to Oregon State next year. Just comes from an unbelievable family. You know, I can't speak enough about you guys. Billy, if I didn't say hello, I know you give me some crap for that. So good job on sticking with Brock through these last 20 years or however old he is. Gavin Logan's also headed to Oregon State. Gavin's from Oyen, Alberta, Canada. And just as fine a young man as can possibly be. I think we'll all be watching Gav play on TV here in a few years. Can't thank him enough. He came in for just this 1 year. He's finally out. Only had a few games with him, but what a tremendous young man. Eric Hill, Biggie, headed out to Chico State. Same thing with him. Biggie had some hiccups in high school, had a couple of knee surgeries, and everyone's got their reason for going to junior college. Biggie kind of had to take this route because of the medical stuff, and watching him work the last few years, just same thing, just that he earned everything he's going to get. Great young man, same thing. Caden Hennessy, Caden's headed to Kaiser University in Fort Lauderdale. Same thing for Caden. Caden came in as a freshman after redshirting for a year out of school in the Midwest. Showed up to us and didn't know what to expect, and it was a nonstop, work his tail off. Lead by example kind of a guy. Caden, I'm excited for you. Can't wait to see what your future holds. And our last guy, Ethan Whitney, just recently signed with George Fox. Ethan, same thing, showed up as a redshirt. He was a redshirt our first year. And seeing the growth in this young man is absolutely unbelievable. He's a special kid, probably the best teammate on the team. I think everyone would agree. And seeing you head off and get to go play at a school like that and get a first-class education, it's, we're all very proud of you, Whit. Kind of last thing I have, obviously, our season was cut short. Not much of awards or anything like that. Started off 6-0. We talked all fall and all winter of, how are you guys going to show up? You're going to show up like men, and they sure did. I think it was like I said, I think we had every piece of the puzzle to get it done this year. We've had back-to-back NWAC South region championships. And I think our guys are kind of over just having that. And I think, everyone has a collective goal to win that final game. Of course, like I said, I think every coach will say this, but I think it was our year. I think we have all the pieces to come back next year, and it's going to be I think we're going to be stronger than ever next year. It's going to be competitive. I'm excited for our recruiting class. I just cannot wait to hurry up and get back on the field and start getting after it with the guys. And I guess last thing, thank all you coaches. Thank you, Mark, Jared, Joe, Jamie. The support you guys given me, you're making this whole transition a lot easier of the whole head coach thing. Gail, Callie, Brad, it's just amazing. Jake, our weight coach, as good as it gets in a junior college weights coach. Hope we can keep you around another few years because, it's fun watching our guys grow, watching the velocities go up, watching guys hit it farther, watching guys be stronger. It's, very, very fun. So thank everyone around me for everything you guys have given me. Thank you to the players. Very special year as a coach. Wish we could have finished it out though, but we'll be seeing you guys in the fall. Thanks, Mark.
Great. Thank you, Andy, and well done, and appreciate your comments. And of all of our sports, baseball is the one that was most severely impacted through all of our spring activities with the virus shutting down schools, and it really was unfortunate. We hope that will not affect any of our other programs, as Christina may have said at the start. We don't know for certain yet. Very soon we will. And as I wrap up here, I'm just going to ask if there is anybody that has any final closing comments that they want to make. Jump on camera and wave at me. I can see you if you need to say anything. Otherwise, I will transition us to our closing video and then we'll be signing off. But as everybody pretty much has said, there's a lot of thanks to go around, and I want to share mine as well. And as soon as you start listing people, you leave somebody off. So I like using just a blanket statement, and I think it may have been Jared that said it. Just there are so many people that go into making a program special. And one thing that I've found in 2 years at LB, there's an extraordinary group of people at the college, top to bottom. and they all care about students, and they all want students to succeed. And that really, truly makes a special place for students to be, and it's a truly special place to work. So it makes all of our jobs that much more enjoyable, and we can get so much more reward out of the work that we do because of all the great people that work here. And so I thank everybody for being here tonight. I thank all the coaches for joining us and making some wonderful comments and recognizing your athletes. Christina, thank you again for joining us. It means a lot to have you here, and your presence and support is always appreciated. We're going to transition into a closing video that's about 2.5 minutes long. On there, you will see a website address that is basically our main athletics website /updates. We continue to post updates as we know more information. So I encourage you all to just check that web page for the latest information. As soon as we get it, we will be posting it. The final video I'm going to post is actually a video we did at the start of this whole coronavirus shutdown. The staff got together and produced a video to share a message of hope and concern. And I just thought it was still so appropriate today. And so while the time has changed slightly in terms of the date and the term that we're in, the messages and the heartfelt support for student athletes is still there. And that's why I chose this video to wrap us up for tonight's program. I'm going to start the video, and at the end of the video, we will be signing off and ending the broadcast. Thank you again to everybody. Hi everybody, we just wanted to take a minute to let you know we've been thinking about you, and we're hoping for the best as we all get through this very difficult period. Take a listen.
Hey runners, just wanted to say welcome back for spring term.
Hello Roadrunner! Hello Roadrunners!
Hey guys. Hey there Roadrunner family and friends, this is Coach Peterson.
How's it going, y'all? This is Coach Joe with Linn-Benton men's basketball.
Hello, Roadrunners.
To all the Roadrunners out there.
Hello, children. Been missing you guys. Out here practicing my social distancing and enjoying some of the finest Benton County has to offer.
I hope everyone is studying hard and staying safe.
I'd like to encourage each of you to keep focused on your classes.
Just wanted to send a quick message and hope everyone's staying well, staying sane during this crazy time.
Just wanted to check in, make sure everybody's staying safe.
I hope you are well and coping with these unique circumstances we are all facing.
I hope everyone's staying healthy, keeping their families safe, and staying strong as much as you can right now.
I know for us, this isn't exactly the what we had in mind for our first spring break, but you know, find a way to get by.
Especially stay connected with your teammates. That's going to be really important this term.
But just make sure that you guys are doing the right thing and stay strong through this time.
If there's anything I can help with, please let me know. I'd be happy to help out with anything I can. And then hopefully we can get back to things normal pretty soon.
Hope everybody's staying safe, is ready to go when they let us get started again.
A lot of things we can do to better ourselves during this time. Better relationship with families, play with your puppy a little bit more, clean up your backyard. I was just putting in the other room for like a half hour or so, something.
Stay focused on your health, loved ones, and education.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact myself or any of your coaches or administration, and we'll do our best to accommodate and help you.
I'm optimistic that we're going to return to the court soon, but in the meantime, stay home, stay healthy, and stay productive.
And in the wise words of High School Musical, remember, we are all in this together.
We're all going to get through this together.
Can't wait to see you guys again soon. Go Beaks.
Go Beaks.
Go Beaks. Send thoughts and prayers. Go Roadrunners.
And go Beaks.